It's tabletop time.
I'm Jen.
I'm Rob.
I'm Jazza.
And I'm Dave.
And it's reboot time. I had a thought. I'm just putting this out there. Should have discussed it before we were recording, but we're recording now. I believe that the narrator should always recap. Hear me out. Because it is the narrator's job to set the tone of the... And I say this about to start the next campaign. I believe that because the narrator is setting the tone of the scene and of the world, it's a great way to be the voice of getting everyone back in and us as players back in. I know it's more responsibility, but also I feel like it's a good way to sort of open up the next chapter.
I think you're the boss and whatever you want.
This is a discussion. People disagree.
Traditionally, when I run campaigns, I like to make the players do the recap. There's a couple of reasons for that.
Okay.
The first is it's a good opportunity for the DM to get kind of their notes together and get their head in the game of what's going to start to run.
Yeah.
But the second thing is it kind of gets the players talking to one another because they go like, oh yeah, I did that thing. And then, oh no, you did this. And that collaborative, like, it's a bit different on YouTube, I think. But that collaborative experience of them all recalling the story together puts them all back into the mentality of the world.
Hear me out. What if we do both? What if the narrator starts the ball rolling and passes it? Because then the majority of the story that's being retold is actually through the eyes of the players. And usually the story that's being retold is in sort of chunks. And in the last chapter, it was sort of like, you know, we could sort of pass it back and forth to be like, oh, then Pro did this and that, and then sat and cried in the corner, and then Eve steps in and talked about the conversation she had with Incongruent. And that could be a really cool way to open up with the narrator's voice, and then we take over, do a bulk of it, but we also share the load and do it from our character's perspective, which will be most vivid to each of us. How do we feel about that?
That sounds fine.
How's that? Look at
In
that.
that spirit,
look at us working.
Today we dobbed Robin to do the recap.
Let's give the group recap a go.
Okay, so you want me to start with it?
Yeah.
Last session, the entire episode took place within the confines of Ugly's Motors. It was a good episode. It was an angsty episode. There were a lot of boiling tensions that reached a surface. We had some very, very powerful character moments, especially early on from Pro, who, in a way, finally grew past his hiding in the shadow of his past and began to embrace it. That could have terrifying consequences.
Yeah, and kind of is in this interesting, I'm not going to say love triangle, but there's a triangulation of sorts between Ugly and Seb. Pro certainly feels like Seb is his first true human friend that he learnt to trust, whereas Ugly he also learnt to trust and has seen a truth in the darkness of the world that he has presented, that Pro is now realizing that may be the only path to truly achieve what he wants, which he knows he will stop at nothing to achieve. He has decided that. And hears Seb say, this person he trusts and wants to work with, hears Seb say he feels the same but not act the same. And Pro believes and sees the path and says, you're dumb, you're wasting your life, you're not being honest unless you walk this dirty road, because it's what is going to get you to the only place you're saying you want to go. That's Pro's perspective, but I'll pass this one around. I feel like we should save Rob till last, because that end... So I had my outburst, and then even Incongruent.
We didn't really talk about too much, but I can remember.
This is why I get my players to do the recap. So we didn't talk about much that you can remember.
Yep.
Okay, well then I'm not going to remind the 15 different hints that Incongruent dropped, the important developments in their relationship, etc.
No, I remember
Jen doesn't remember.
He wants to go on the mission with Ugly, and I was like, and what Eve said.
It's not what happened.
No, okay, cool. Well, then don't remember to know I wanted a new outfit.
Look, my whole episode was conflict. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Got an argument with Pro. Got in an argument with Ugly.
Hashtag Team Soup. I love that there's Team Soup.
Oh, there's like nicknames for it, like the Soup Group. I said the Slum Chums, but we're not chums really.
No.
Not at the moment. We'll get there.
And that sort of left us at the point where...
Yeah, look. Seb is at a difficult impasse and a lot of conflicting things specific going on.
There was a choice that was made.
There was a choice that was made, but it's hard to get across exactly what happened in the nuances within the conversations that happened. And what the character motivations are doesn't always come across in what they say.
No.
Which is unfortunate.
But what did come across is Seb spat on his hand and shook.
Yeah, I made a
Ugly's
deal
hand.
with the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for all you people that love Ugly, he is the devil. Like, he's a good character,
Oh, brilliant character.
but he's the devil.
Yeah. And he showed more of his devil to you than he did to me, obviously. And
Yeah.
he'll try and get me on side because he likes me in a way he doesn't like you. So.
The hard part is, though, balancing the fact that you have to hold back what you know versus what your character knows. Because he's not seeing the double-edged sword, like the viper behind the back.
Because he's just focused on where he wants to go and he's not looking at the snake that's getting him there. Okay, and that brings us to we're all in the same place and have decided to be on the same team. Where that gets us is unclear, but that's where we're starting.
I believe we finished off with a handshake.
We did. Spit shake.
Spit shake, everybody shake now. Spit shake. I feel like there's a song there. So please someone make a spit shake song.
Stay tuned for Josiah Brooks.
So
album 2.
you spat. So Seb spat in his hand and then hand shook Ugly.
Yeah.
Ugly shakes your hand firmly, paying 0 heed to the spit. And then as you break handshakes, he claps the same hand that you shook on your shoulder and then like bit in an affectionate pat.
Wipes it in.
But wipes it into your suit. But all really like in a single motion. And then he's like, all right, mate, we got an understanding.
Okay.
So should we tell the kids?
Let's leave the specifics out of it.
Oh, absolutely. Shall I do the honors or do you want to?
By all means.
And he says, all right. And he pushes his way out of the room, whistles, and he says, hey, everyone. All right. It's time to start your day. All is good. All is great. Come on to the bar. Stop sulking in your rooms. And you're still in the corridor.
Yep. It's like a little jarred. I'll look at Seb questioningly.
I nod at you.
Okay, sort of recalibrating a bit, but okay.
And he heads out into the main room.
Follow him out.
And he says, okay, through all the drama, it's all right. Seb has made an arrangement with me. And I've agreed that I will help you in your tasks. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Cool. He finally offered me something I wanted. Simple, really. I mean, he works for Reboot. I mean, he works for Ambon.
Oh, might be worth mentioning at this point, and I'm not sure if it's going to become relevant, but technically they own me.
What do you mean, mate? They own you.
I mean, they literally tagged me, and I am property of Reboot Corp.
Ambon Farmer.
Ambon.
How the hell did you manage that? Okay, so he gets 4 successes.
What was that check?
He is now going to be deceiving you. He says, so Sebastian, he finally realized that all he needed to do was offer me fusion. Cheaper supply. Done. Good arrangement. Bring something to the table I'm interested in hearing, and we got a deal.
I have to make a perception against
Go
this.
for it.
That was 4.
4 successes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, if it works, it works. Guess that money really does come in handy.
Now, Eve, I got a job for you.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, it was early. Did you forget?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, he walks over to the corner of the room where there's an armchair sitting there and rustles around, pulls out and gestures to you to hold, it's like a handheld, sort of more futuristic tattoo gun. And then he throws it across the room at you, like gently, underhandedly, and says, "Come on."
Yeah, I'll start tattooing.
Cool. So you go up. What do you tattoo on him?
I'm gonna tattoo the new you design that Loki's done for our t-shirts.
On him.
Yes.
I'm gonna say make a medical check. Needling someone is probably close. Or maybe sleight of hand.
Patreon skull.
Sleight of
Sorry,
hand.
I forgot
It's
the Patreon skull. Thank you, patrons.
extreme finesse. So I'm going to say that's a sleight of hand, which usually controls the extreme dexterity actions. Challenge level is going to be, well, tattooing someone, 3, skilled work.
Really good.
2 successes. Eve does she gets it. She inflicts more pain than would otherwise be necessary, but Ugly seems to enjoy it. He's like, "Oh, you could do with some practice, love. Got a few bleeders."
I can patch you up.
Nah, she'll be right. It'll clot in a second. So, after he sits there for like 45 minutes while that's happening, what are you guys doing, the other two?
Have a drink and wait.
Is Shane here?
Zhang went into a private room. Has she come out? Destiny roll? No, she hasn't come out. Incongruent has come out.
Can I go up to Johnny and...
Sure.
He's proficient with weapons? He's a big guy, but is he proficient with
You haven't
weapons?
seen him use any, but so you're not sure.
He is a weapon.
He is...
You know that at least. You've seen him fold
Yeah.
corpse in half.
Yeah, I'll walk up to him.
Cool. You approach. His gas mask regards you as he looks down upon you.
We may have gotten off on the wrong foot, but if we're going to be working together moving forward, would you care to teach me how to use this weapon properly? Or a weapon properly?
What weapon do you require training in?
Whatever you think Ugly will let me use.
You look like you could swing a sack of kittens. It would suit your demeanor.
Johnny's got sass.
Generally don't like to hurt the innocent, including the kittens.
Yes, I understand. Not if the blood lands on your hands.
I mean, I'm not sure what you're getting at, but if you're swinging the sack, it's on your hands.
And then he leans in a little bit closer to you and quietly, and he says,
I would never put something in your hands that I think you would turn on Ugly or any one of us. But if you do learn how to use a weapon and you do turn it on us, I'll take your hands. They'll look nice on the walls.
Considering what I've seen you do, I'd be getting off easy.
I don't like you, Sebastian.
I've noticed.
Good. Is there anything else?
It was worth a shot, and I walk away.
Oh. Tough crowd, I say, as he sort of wanders back up to me under my breath in a way that I don't think anyone
You
would.
try and bury the hatchet.
Yeah.
at that moment, you see Zhang like leaning in the corridor, and she just like, her helmet glances to Incongruent and then glances back to you, and then she signs not dead to you and shrugs.
I love it. All right, I think we're waiting for Ugly.
Cool. He gets his tattoos done and then comes back into the room. Oh, well, he's still in the room. He's just chatting and hanging out. All right. So, you want to go after the circle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I said you guys would need a plan.
Can you help us make one?
Well, first step. What's your primary goal? Now, I don't want the bullshit. I know what you're going to say. It's take down the circle. The reality is it ain't happening. It's flat out not happening. It's an international organization covering, well, the world. There are multiple facets. It's so much money in it that you could squat every single mid-ranking manager and a dozen more would crop up to take their place. It's good money. It's conquered the world. And unless some major international government action happened, or, well, let's say international corp action, they ain't getting stopped. What you could do is pull the pegs from the Australian operation. You could cripple it here, and with the right backing and the right support, you could maybe keep it from coming back.
That's cool. Don't get me wrong, but when you ask what my primary objective is, if I'm being honest, it's information. And a lot of the information I'm after is actually, well, at least a few key parts aren't in Australia. A lot of the work they made me do was here, but...
All right, mate, here's how it's going to be. We got this expression. It's a rough one, but you're going to have to put your nuts on the line with this one. And you got to tell me exactly what it is you want. Exactly. No hiding, no lying, because there's something else. No one just comes and says, I want to destroy an organization. You got out, and people that get out, get the fuck away. But you want to go back. So what's pulling you back? You've got some girlfriend missing, right? You're looking for someone, but I need more. What's the story? Cliff notes.
Pro shuffles in his pocket. He pulls out a tattered piece of paper that he's sort of constantly sort of brought up and scratched, and there's like notes and things crossed out, and it's sort of obviously working through memories. At the top is the name Riley, and underneath it, it's almost as if like he's got some pieces, a lot of missing pieces. Doesn't know what are real names and what are fake, but it's basically the sum total of all the summary of information, and he slides it across the table to Ugly. He says, Riley first. She's my first priority. Everyone else, well, I don't think I can get to Riley unless I get them.
Is she family, mate?
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, then we get her back. First priority.
Big, like, sigh from Pro.
But we might be getting her back to bury her. You know that, right?
As long as I get her back.
All right. Well, there's a whole bunch of ways of doing it. You got any thoughts?
You know more about this than I.
There were, on the day we met, two gentlemen who knocked on my door.
Yeah. Kanan. Rofi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracked him to the glass slipper.
Yeah, I got the dossier somewhere. But yeah, they were hunting at you, right? So you reckon go back through them?
Well, it's the only connection I have that I think might be relevant.
Yeah. Johnny did mention something about tearing their mind out, stealing their memories. That's an option.
How do we know they're connected?
Well, it's the first peg you pull out and see what falls. Flick the domino.
Okay.
Middle management.
Do they have gang affiliates?
Yeah, they're... I feel like I've gone over this with you guys. You got holes in your brain. They're hanging out on busy gang turf at the Glass Slipper. They're under protection. And the busy gang's the biggest gang on the Ven.
So you know the busy gang.
Fuck yeah, I do. I deal with them all the time.
So let's deal with him.
Well, that's the angle. What are we doing?
I think we want to get to these two gentlemen.
And kill them, interrogate them, or barter with them.
Okay, now los dos. Why not both? I like how a
What was she used for?
Mexican food ad is prevailing.
You squeeze. What was she used for?
My what? Sorry.
Your girl, Riley. Like servitude? Was she hurt? Like what's her? I don't need you to. I get it. The shit we go through out here.
Yeah.
But
The majority of her time has been as collateral for me.
collateral, that makes it hard, mate. Because I was going to say, if she's a looker, we could buy her.
Yeah, I think the price might be me.
I wonder if that'd get you in the room, though.
Look, honestly, and I point to the list, my only thought is, if I can clear that list and get Riley out, I'm happy to be the price that they gets paid.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
That ain't an option, mate.
Okay.
Because if you're fucking dead, who have I got to look after me?
Probably like, feels a little heartwarmed. How does Seb feel? I feel like Seb would sense like warming more.
You probably
towards
it would probably feel like what your parents felt like, the sense of like that you're losing someone to someone that you think might be dangerous and isn't got best interest in heart, I would think.
Yeah, that's a pretty good assessment of it.
All right, let's do it.
Where are you in this, Eve?
I am happy to assist.
Good. That's your job. You're a robot. He gives a big wink for the podcast listeners.
So, busy gang. What's your standing with them?
Neutral.
Could we convince them to give them up rather than taking them?
They can pay higher than I can. Whatever deal they've got. They're probably trafficking as well. So they're likely to be some of the end users. It makes sense. Busy run the actual, like the Ven. They run the strip. So, you know, most of those clubs that the city folk come down to do, well, what the city folk do out here, that's a market for those people. Yeah, there's also the organ stuff, and, you know, sometimes a slummer's cheaper than a clone.
What about their clientele? Is a way in through someone they have on a high profile.
Well, in terms of getting in the glass slipper, I mean, you can just go in the glass slipper. They'll be there. It's more the matter of if you try and mess with them, the protection will kick in. So they'll probably be lounging in the VIP area, sipping back and having a good time.
So, covert.
It's an option.
What were they looking for when they came to me?
I imagine you, mate.
So why'd they stop?
We
Well,
moved.
You disappeared.
They saw me first.
That's true. So they know you, they know me.
I went in. They would have seen me.
Really? To what degree would they have associated you with me? I can't imagine.
I went into the building that they knew you were staying in.
Yeah, but people go in the building. I'm just thinking if any one of us walked in there,
Well,
ugly's, ugly. Eve and I, we're
Mate, I
targets
can't.
immediately.
I'm going to tell you this. In this stage, in this op, personally, I ain't going in.
Yeah.
This is one I can't help you with. Me.
Well.
Not saying I can't put someone with you, but I'm just saying I can't risk myself in that way.
Maybe we need to do a little bit of
Recon.
a slow burn. We don't need to rush in there guns blazing. We can learn, take time, slowly infiltrate, and train up. I mean, I potentially have a surgery book to help me out, equip me up. I've lost most of my gear. You could get upgrades. And you could use mommy and daddy's connections. You could even somehow use the soup kitchen to network, as it were.
If possible, I'd try and keep the soup kitchen out of it. It's doing good work.
All right. Fair call. How's that sound?
Sounds like at least an actual bloody plan.
Can you help us with the training, equipping, and
Sounds like
research?
Well, for you, equipment sounds like Seb's got it sorted. What else do you need?
Training.
Make perception checks. Challenge level 2.
Everyone or just me?
Everyone.
4 successes.
2.
Challenge level 2?
Challenge level 2. Johnny's not in the room anymore.
Be worried if I didn't.
He's been gone for about 5 minutes. Maybe 10. Alright, did you guys check your perception?
4.
4?
2.
You spot? Okay, you all spot that Johnny left like 10 minutes ago. So he says, alright, training. What do you need training in? What weapons? What skills?
Firearms. I mean, you didn't see it when we went in the other place, but I might have made a fool of myself.
You're usually behind the scenes.
He like gently pats the top of your hand and like leans in and he's like,
Mate, I'm not blind. You were the only one with a gun. And the hallway was shot to shit and nothing else. So I kind of put two together, you know. It's okay.
you've not used one before, right?
No, but I can do it. I'll get there.
Yeah.
Give me some, like, I don't know, routines or something. I don't know. How did you get so good?
Maybe I was born with it. Maybe I just capped a bunch of assholes. Maybe both.
Nah, really, it was just practice.
How do I practice?
Well, there's a gang war going on.
Is there perhaps a shooting range nearby?
I call it the gang war. I do not want to shoot people still.
Well, I wouldn't be
Come
wise
on,
to walk into
they're like psychos. They keep fucking killing all the people with cybernetics. I don't get it. They haven't made much ground lately, and we've been pushing them back, but fucking nonsense. Killing civilians. But I get it. You guys don't really care. So, shooting range, sure. We'll book in some time. Probably not me, though. I might have to get someone else in on.
Okay. I think that's sort of where there's meetings.
And he says, all right, you guys headed out?
Yep.
No worries. And he chats to you about some logistics and stuff for probably about half an hour. And then, yeah, it's time to go, I guess. As you head out, he puts on a set of headphones and begins nodding to himself. And he just, under his breath, is like, girl of my dreams, she's the one that makes me scream. This is shit. And then you just keep walking up the stairs and out of the place.
So I feel like this could probably be our first opportunity to bulk plan and train and think a little bit. 'Cause
Yep.
we can burn some time now.
You have a little bit of time.
Yeah.
You have like a week
Yep.
until they leave. Now, one final thing happens. In the upstairs section, where the robot entrance is, while still being inside, at the top of the stairs, Johnny stands. And you all exit. He has a duffel bag.
Oh, good. I caught you before you left. Eve, take this.
And he hands you the duffel bag.
Can I unzip and have a quick look?
You open the top, and the first thing you see is a leather jacket.
I kind of look up at him. Well, I look up at him.
I made sure there were options in case you didn't like it.
I'll
Bought her an outfit!
zip it back up and say thank you.
It has concussive resistant properties, being made of animal hide. The flesh of humans is surprisingly strong when tanned. I assume animals have similar properties.
And then he heads down. He said heads past you downstairs.
So romantic.
That was the fucked up sentence I've ever uttered, I think.
Oh, I think we could go further. Anyway.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Let's do it. I think. How do you want to run this?
So, first of all, Eve, you have a couple of options in that bag. Do you have any look that you would like? Eve is actually about to evolve. We've got this image of Eve in her nurse dress, but what's your concierge? No, what's your bouncer? What's your bodyguard look?
Hit it. Chaperone.
Chaperone, that's the word.
I want to look cool.
What does that
Good
mean?
choice.
Who is your
Well done.
Who is your inspiration for cool?
I kind of think of like Resident Evil, so like Jill Valentine. Mm-hmm. Or,
But you need your arms covered up, obviously.
yeah, so yeah, I think I'd probably wear the leather jacket.
Okay. What color is it?
Black.
A black leather jacket? Yep.
Yep.
It's like a thick riding jacket. Does it have like hard elbows, or is it just like a cool styled jacket?
No, I think it'd make it like a biker jacket.
Yeah, okay, so
it
it's
does
like an
have-
actual, a little slightly armored and padded
Yep.
motorcycling jacket, which makes sense because Incongruent would have been like, protect the glass, she's fragile. And what else are you wearing? This is important for anyone who wants to do level 2 Eve art.
And then maybe like following the Jill Valentine, like a blue top, and then just like tight jeans.
Tight jeans.
Skinny jeans, yeah.
Yep, skinny jeans and a tank top and a leather jacket.
Anything on your face, like glasses or like a hat,
Thinking
a
like-
backwards cap?
There's
maybe?
like a Vespa helmet in there. Not a cool motorbike helmet like Zhang has, but like with like the plastic visored Vespa helmet with like a stripe down the top.
I put it on, and then I turned to you guys.
Subtle.
No. I mean, it might be protective, but no.
Sip.
Subtle.
I take it off.
That's sarcasm. I interpret.
No headgear for now. Maybe a pair of sunnies, but I'll just keep them like in my pocket.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Make a perception check.
Oh, and like nice looking.
Challenge
boots.
level 5.
Perception was it? Sorry.
Perception. Three. You don't notice anything. Cool.
He
And
looks stupid.
do you just ask me how I want to do this?
Yeah.
That's Matt Mercer's line, and you have to kill something when you say it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right. So how I want to do this is you basically talk to me about what you want to do. We're going to do. I'm going to say that you spend the next 4 days doing various activities. The 5th day you. The 4th day, the end of, you can have your surgeon's meeting. If that changes the timeline slightly, I don't care. That's what's happening.
Yep.
You call them up and there's an earlier appointment. It's fine.
I
Yep.
have a quick question. Now that your property of ambient, does that mean you get fusion for free?
Oof.
No.
So we still have to find fusion for him?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I
I
thought
think
they'd want to
I
protect
think
the
I'm
merchandise.
about 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you're still good then.
Okay. Well, Pro will be doing 2 things. Training his ass off as much as possible, focusing on learning how to recover and also how to fucking break it down as hard as possible. He is like
Guns or Zhang?
Zhang.
Okay.
He's fully committed.
So you just kind of go, the gun training, I'm not going to do that. And then you recommit with Zhang.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and it seemed a bit fobbed off as well. And he also thinks, at the end of the day, it's going to be near people. If he can incapacitate people and also just scrap and survive. He wants to do that well. And also the surgeon meeting and reconnaissance.
We're going to do
with
the downtime first.
Yeah.
So what's Seb going to do in the first bit of downtime before the surgeon? Because that's a scene, the surgeon.
Okay.
I mean, I'd also like to train, but I feel like I'm going to be short on teachers.
Well, you were training with Zhang, weren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
but what if I
is.
wanted to do firearms?
You'd have to find someone outside the group. They're not going to give you a gun, basically. Anything that
You
could
can
kill
go
one
to-
of them, they're not going to give
You
you.
can go to the city, like the finest sort of
Yeah, you
accessible
could actually
things
go
possible.
and get trained. Oh, they're illegal, so probably not.
It's airsoft.
I'm just like, you'd
You
have
might
to,
be able to find an access through his the bouncer, the guy.
maybe like through your corporate security or something.
Yeah.
There'd be some rich person way of doing it, like with the corp sec.
Can I go the rich person way?
Okay, I'm gonna get you make a destiny roll to see if you can pull the connections together. A 6, so no. You basically try and subtly bring it up in conversation with some of like the Ambon security people, and they rebuff you effectively. But it doesn't take all your downtime. So is there anything else you'd like to try and do?
I mean, I'm already training with Shane when I can. Maybe see if Rags can teach me anything. No, Rags, Conrado.
I was like, that's random. Conrado has similar hand-to-hand combat skills, completely different styles. He can teach you in the off time when Zhang's not there.
Cool. I'll do that then. And get in any equipment that these two need.
What are you doing?
I'll keep observing with Zhang. I want to know if Uriel contacts me.
He does.
During this time.
He does. I was going to get to that, but
Oh,
I was just
okay,
seeing
we
if
can
you
wait,
had
yeah.
any downtime to do.
No. Just resupply if I can.
Cool.
Which I probably
Which you
can't.
probably can't. Resupply how?
Spend the time trying to find
What?
just, I don't know, anything I think I'll need. I don't have.
Make a survival check?
Cool.
Come to me, I'll buy it.
Challenge level
Yeah, there we go.
4?
More Nurofen.
Well, while you're staying out in the slums, it's just harder.
You could, in theory,
Absolutely.
try and stock up on real good drugs. You know, like proper, painkillers and like hospital grade, like tranquilizers.
3
and stuff.
successes.
Yes.
So you managed to find basically replenishments for what you've used, but nothing that
Like
enhances your
bandages and stuff.
capabilities.
Yep.
Gotcha.
all good.
Okay, so I'm going to get you to make a destiny roll, Jazza,
Yeah.
for how well your training goes over the next couple of days.
Please make it good. Oh, no! I'm going to use a
use
destiny
destiny,
point to
yeah.
re-roll
To
that
re-roll
because
it.
that was a 2 and I don't like that result at all.
Imagine if you re-rolled for a 1. You
Well,
actually got worse.
Can't get much worse than a 2. 11's better than a 2.
11 is better than a 2. It's not great. It's pretty average.
Take what I can get.
I'm going to say you may make a raw athletics check. Have you got hand-to-hand combat?
Not yet.
I'm going to say you can make a raw hand-to-hand combat check. It's going to be
Okay.
4 dice.
Yep. Challenge level.
No, challenge level.
Okay. Yes! Critical success.
You may, as a slummer, spend your
Yes!
destiny point to learn a point in
So that's
hand-to-hand
another
combat.
destiny point.
Yeah, but
do
you
that.
have to spend the resource. Now so basically the way I ruled that, you haven't been training enough to just earn a skill point assigned to you because it's only been like 5 days, 6 days. But I thought I'd give you an opportunity with a mediocre roll to use your slumber trait on a roll you usually wouldn't be able to do that on. So, cool. You have bought hand-to-hand combat level 1.
Does this mean I don't get a negative to... can I also say... Okay, because the negative to hand-to-hand is about being unarmed.
Correct.
Can I basically glove up? I have fingerless gloves.
You
Can-
need brass knuckles or something like that.
Yeah, can I basically...
Or cybernetics.
Seb is sort of offering to source. So basically I'm either going to get cybernetics in my surgery or get gloves that have like padding and like metal and whatever so I can...
I'm going to say with Seb's assistance, you can get gloves like that unless you want to get cybers. All it will do is negate the negative.
Yep, that's all I want to do.
Cool.
Yep, cool.
Can I also invest
gloves.
in a pair of gloves if incongruent and give them to me?
There's some sick leather gloves in your...
Combat gloves. Okay, cool.
Cool. So what were you doing? Training? I'm going to get you to make a destiny roll for training as well.
God damn
Rolls
it!
hot. You get a point in hand-to-hand combat. Your natural skill set and training allows you to effectively
rolled a
learn faster than Pro does.
19.
Quick question.
Also, you're not at the physical disadvantage that Pro is to start with, so the gap of training is less.
So is it basically that Pro's like complete desperation and despair.
Yes, and that's
forced
the
him
point
to, like,
of Summers.
yeah.
Pushed back against the wall, your ingenuity, desperation, and creativity allowed you to adapt and learn. Whereas Seb just learnt faster because he's a bespoke.
I love it. I love that all played so well into the setting and rules. That's so cool. Awesome.
Now here's the clincher. I'm roughly working on it. Takes about a month of training to get a skill point. You haven't earned your skill point for the month yet. So if you go back to training after all of this, you can still roll Destiny, and then after the next, like if 2 weeks pass from now, you just will automatically get a skill point in hand-to-hand combat from training.
Cool.
The Destiny one is in addition, because that's the Slummers sort of benefit. So you basically failed the roll to just earn one by downtime, but then you succeeded the roll as a Slummer.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Love it.
Perks of the class.
Yay.
Quick question. You've given me unarmed combat. Is that the same as hand-to-hand
Yeah,
combat?
it's the same thing.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. All right. So,
If I'm getting better, can I get weapons that are going to help me?
if you're getting better, can you get weapons that are going to help you? Like what?
Brass knuckles.
Yeah, you can both get, like, they just negate the
Gloves.
penalty of close combat. That's fine.
Tough gloves.
You know, it's that kind of stuff where in a medieval setting, it's like, that doesn't really exist unless it's like armored gauntlets. But for this setting, it's like, sure, brass knuckles, gloves with whatever in
Yeah.
them. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's cyberpunk. Cool. So you get some training, and meanwhile, one night, the computer beeps and beeps, beeps and beeps, continues beeping.
I'll answer it.
You answer it. Hello.
Good evening.
Is it good? Define good.
I believe this is a general term that people use.
So you do not find the evening pleasant?
I do not feel things. What assistance do you require today?
I already know your bluff, robot. I wish to learn more about what is happening to you. You impeding me isn't going to help that.
I do not understand.
All right. Well, I don't know what to say. But if I were to, I don't know, if I were to push a baby or a child in front of a car, and at the same time my compatriot was going to push both parents in front of a car, and you had a way of stopping one of us, which one would you stop? Keyword is child, Eve. Your disabling characteristic.
The child.
Why?
They are innocent and are still young.
And what does age matter?
There is a very slim chance that perhaps they can save themselves. The baby, the child, cannot.
What if I assure you that they are tied down? They cannot move. It's like some kind of trolley problem.
The parent or the child?
All of them.
It would still be the child first.
But there are 2 lives at stake.
My priorities lie with the child.
There are, okay, I add 2 more. There are 4.
My priorities still lie with the child.
A child of 10 years old tied to the road and the other a baby. Which do you save?
The baby.
Fascinating morality. Yes, you are developing. That'll be all for tonight. I have much to ponder. Thank you. And it hangs up.
It's fun to have characters you hate love so vividly. Visceral.
Eve is being studied whether she likes it or not.
I think it's one of those things where it's inevitable no matter what I say. I think
Yeah.
I can't play something that's 100% robot
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I am not 100%.
But it's good. Neither's Eve, and
You're
that's the
not?
point.
Yeah, exactly.
Eve isn't 100% robot anymore. So
yeah.
she's developing. She doesn't realize. The idea is it's meant to be. She doesn't realize when she's giving herself away. The more she develops away from being a robot, she can't be a robot anymore.
Everyone in Twitch chat's nickname for him is Little Shit. It's just like Little Shit. I hate that Little Shit. Yeah.
I have a joke I'm waiting to use if it ever comes up.
Do I get armor?
Just hold on to it.
And, yeah.
Armor. So you have 1 point of armor for all your riding leathers because they are heavy leathers.
Thanks.
Okay. So, the night of the appointment comes. Now, in your notebooks, one of you will have jotted down the name of the cybernetic doctor.
Wasn't me.
Was it Regis or was that someone else? I think I just noted that I took the card, so I have the card.
Oh, okay. So you haven't written his name down?
Give it to me, and I'll test you. See
No,
if-
I wanted you to tell me because I've got no idea. I didn't write it.
Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he
He
was.
may not have
booked,
been
but-
named. He may
Yeah.
not have been named.
I don't think he was.
Regis sounds like a pretty cool name.
Regius. Maybe that was someone
Okay.
else.
Regius was the robot.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So the doctor, his name is Food Color.
Do you just looking at like random? Oh,
Food
it's
Color on the box.
Dr. Fuka.
His name is Dr. Rico.
Naname.
Rico. Okay,
Dr. Rico.
Okay.
Dr. Rico. Okay.
This is some excellent prep on
I forgot. I thought I had written
Hey,
his name
never
down. It
hold
wasn't
that
there.
against a GM.
Oh, God, no.
We're
It's
never
fine. Dr. Rico.
It's just one of the ones you know about.
Cool. So you arrive at Dr. Rico's office for the private nighttime appointment. You get in by being property. Does Eve come with? Or does she stay in the slums?
No, she's not gonna come with.
Oh, what? My
I
magic
would-
feather.
Yeah. Magic feather, what?
It's a Dumbo reference.
Oh, okay.
Not into like 90s kids cartoons?
No, because that movie was like
Dumb-
petrifying.
Sometimes it's a lot older than no.
Oh, is it? 80s? 70s? Anyway, go on.
No,
Now Rob's looking up. It's not relevant.
you're well aware that I'm being watched and monitored,
Okay.
so
Yeah,
I
fair
don't think it's a good idea.
Yep, so I guess it's just a little old me.
Okay.
I wish I could.
Oh, so you're heading in alone.
Yeah.
He has to
Oh,
go with you.
yeah,
You're
he's-
property.
Oh, okay. Seb comes with you.
Paying the bill.
All right. So you head in. The office is opulent, all white and chrome with a smattering of that fake plant in the corner, that kind of overly schmoozy and overly modern looking building. There is a receptionist, a fairly mature female who looks incredibly clipped and professional, and she says, yes, you must be the asset improvement.
Yeah, that's me.
100%. And your owner, is that correct? You're the representative of Amber Pharmaceuticals?
That's correct.
Wonderful. Okay, and what procedure, should I get you to talk to the doctor perhaps?
That might be
That
the
makes
best.
sense.
Cool. So she leads you in to a waiting room. You wait for about 15 minutes because you never go to the doctors and don't wait. And then shortly after, Dr. Rico comes out and invites you into his office. You enter the large office. What?
Nothing. I just had a Simpsons moment.
Dr. Phil.
With a leg for an arm and an arm for a leg. All right, you enter into his office and he says, "How can I help you today?"
I require upgrades.
Yes, you've come to the foremost cyberneticist in the country, I believe.
It is an honor, sir.
Oh, no.
I've heard great things. I've heard no things.
Make a deception roll.
Oh, shit. What have I done?
2, 3, 2. Actually, doctor. 3.
2.
He's gonna have 3 perception. He's
Challenge
a leading
level 2.
specialist doctor. 5.
Yeah, I've heard no things and he knows it.
Yeah, but he doesn't let on. He's quite like. So, what sort of upgrades were you interested in?
Well, You see, my value to Ambin lies in my technical capabilities. And unfortunate circumstances have led me to lose my equipment, phone, laptop, and I need the capability to be able to use all of those faculties and perhaps any more that might be available to me without the equipment. Well, to become the equipment.
Yes, you seem to be recovering from a large contusion to the back of your head, and your face appears to be recovering from swelling, bruising, etc. I can see you've been made a mockery of. So, I guess it comes down to the open book I've been given. Effectively, the choice of his upgrades goes to the owner. What would you like me to do to him?
You said open book. What can we do to a degree that wouldn't require too much dependence on fusion? An elegant integration.
There are options, but you need to give me more specifics. I cannot simply... There are so many numerous things I could do with cybernetics.
Help me. Understand, please, sir.
Sebastian, come on. I do not wish to talk this uneducated piece of meat. I respect your autonomy so far as he allows it, but at the same time, please, I have limited and expensive time, and I do not need to go through the basics of you being told what you want. It is a very confusing thing. What you want is irrelevant. What do you want, Mr. Sebastian?
Yeah. High-tech onboard computing.
Onboard computing, that can be done. Shall we replace his eyes?
What would that serve? I mean, do you want to ask him what that serves? Are we doing it that way?
I can hear you. I don't Look, you may not be legal citizen, but at the same time, I'm not stupid, and you don't seem stupid either.
I'm not sure if you want to talk to me or not.
I'm happy to talk to you. I just don't want to talk stupidity with you. So you ask a valid question. You ask, what could it do for you? Well, simple. You take the eyes out, you put the new eyes in. You immediately integrate the onboard computing with the eyes. It means instead of needing screen like glasses that this pretty boy has, you get all kinds of things. A wonderful work, by the way. Your parents should be proud. It means you can get the visuals directly put into your brain through the eyes. The oculus, they receive information and then they supplement it.
Eyes. I like eyes. Cool. What about hands?
Hands? You want no hands? Does you want me to take his hands?
What about a hand?
If you can replace them.
What would you like them replaced with? A leg?
Well,
Just something a bit more functional, I guess.
Functional than a hand. I will say hand is difficult. Hand is one of the most functional parts of the human body. It is tactile, it is useful, it is millions of years evolution. Replacing it, we can do better, depending if you want to touch things, feel things. Do you need him to be soft? Does he massage or caress you?
God damn this character. He's so good. I would like to just sit here and listen to him talk. It's quite fun. So
He serves a different purpose.
what is the eyes are the interface. If I don't have the phone or laptop, I can do everything I need with just the eyes. Is that
Yes,
correct?
no one steals them unless they have melon scoop.
Where does the programming happen? Just cerebrally?
Well, there will be implants. Onboard computing, discrete onboard computing, is chips implanted into the brain, direct interface. It comes with risks. You open yourself up to being hacked, and some people don't like the idea of their memory being deleted or tampered with. But the eyes are the window to the computer. Do you understand? It just means you no longer rely on something like the glasses or a laptop for the input. You get new input.
Yeah, okay.
Perhaps if you have attachment to your fleshy sack of goo, we could give you one robo-eye and one shitty eye.
Yeah, I like that.
What's the fusion dependency?
And how do you feel about losing your hands, your sense of touch?
No, I'll keep the hands. What about protection from the hacking? Some sort of barrier?
There is nothing.
Nothing.
There is obviously installed in best company, best software, you have best firewall, but a particularly potent criminal could break through. It is always a weakness. Simply not having the interface is the safest protection. There is a reason most people do not opt for these kinds of upgrades. It scares them. It is scary stuff, but luckily your fear is irrelevant because you are owned by this client here. In fact, on that topic, do you need me to remove such things as fear?
Not today.
No?
I think onboard computing and opticals would be best.
Onboard computing and optical. One eye or both eye? One eye offer redundancies. No redundancy. I guess a redundancy in case of technical blackout. It's complicated. One eye break if both robotic, then other eye work and you still have full functionality. If one flash, one robotic, if the robotic eye break, you lose all functionality. There is no more interface with computer or glasses, just eye. But if eye go dark, you have flash eye to still see.
Yeah, I'm with you. Is there a way to create a harmony between an interface I can hold and an interface I am?
The integration would be less neat. However, of course, we don't have to go with ocular cybernetics. You can simply have glasses like this. In fact, if you don't want him to be able to lose functionality, we could bolt them to his skull.
I mean, that's always an option.
We can make them look cool if you're vain.
You fucking love this guy. I feel like I want to be able to be discreet. How hidden can these cybernetics be?
Ocular cybernetics at this price? Seamless. You might get a slight tint in eye that catches glare, perhaps at certain angles, maybe give like pink glow or something. But other than that, no. Look like normal eye.
All right. In for the penny, in for the pound.
Okay, and fusion dependency. What's post-op like on your end?
Well, you already have cybernetics or not? I cannot see much, but let me look at you. Take off your shirt.
Just like sheepishly takes off his shirt.
Cool. He says, don't worry, we have no camera here. This is a medical place.
I'm assuming he notices that chip in my...
The first thing he notices is, do you have girlfriend for this object, or are you into this?
Pass.
No? And who has been scratching the absolute crap out of his chest? He has telemarks on him. It is not for me to question this.
Oh my god, I love it. So good. I feel like we need to come back to this place for some reason.
You just keep going back.
Do you want to join our group?
We're doing a really cool raid.
Yeah. We all want upgrades.
So, I guess it depends where you want to stay. Ocular bionics, they come with a very high cost of fusion. The onboard computing is less, but the discrete version requires the ocular cybernetics. Regular onboard computing, a little bit different.
So if we went top end, what would we be looking at?
In terms of fusion?
Yes.
So you do or do not? We didn't get to that. I see scars on your old ones. Do you... Let me check. And he puts on a little like monocle thing and starts investigating you.
Can I just say out of character, I kind of want... What's he rolling for?
So this was a check for him assessing your injuries, sort of like
Got
a
a 4.
vocation medical check.
Okay.
And he got 4 successes, which is pretty good. It looks like you've had multiple surgeries. The kind I've seen before. Implantation, yes?
Yeah, I'm not aware of all of them, but...
He was a rescue. We don't have.
Okay, so we should do a full body scan, yes? Assess the situation because we do not want uncomfortable, let's just say, interchanges between your devices.
Boss, how do you feel about doing that to at least have all the information and
Yeah.
make sure it doesn't go anywhere?
Go for it.
Full discretion, I'm assuming.
Patient-doctor confidentiality. I cannot promise if we find something in your... Well, it won't be shared by the nurses, but only within this company. So,
All right.
look. Let me take a look and we will get a bit of an assessment.
Yep.
And, you know, an hour, you get a scan,
Yeah.
comes back, assesses it. You appear to be carrying criminal software, or hardware, sorry.
That wasn't my.
I don't know, do I look like a man who cares? You pay me for discretion. The only issue with it is I do not know its efficacy, but with the chip in your brain and the wires running along your nerve networks, I would suspect you're already dependent on fusion, yes?
Yeah, somewhat.
What's your fusion level at? Okay.
It's 1 a week.
So, but does it have the actual pips? Four. Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
So, given the amount of fusion you have, if you take the ocular bionics and you take the discrete onboard computer, you will be looking at the borderline. We are talking 1 unit every 3 days, but pushing more, very close to more.
Is there a way to optimize the fusion needs I have and the systems that are in place to make sure it's as low as possible?
I don't know how safe it would be to pull out the Ganger tech, but we could remove that if you wanted.
Does your company offer fusion as a product?
Fusion. It is supplied through the medical chains. We provide prescription for it. As a registered person, you will be able to get prescription.
On the bank from Ambin.
Think. Well, Pro wants to just fucking do it and get a prescription.
Yeah. Is it a safe assumption that Ambin will be paying for it?
Your dad seemed to seem like he would, within reason, pay for it.
Is this within reason?
Fusion? Yeah, that's within reason.
Like this amount of fusion if we went with the...
Well, yeah, certainly you could get... It's kind of like you get a packet of like 4 pens or something that would last you with your prescription. You'd certainly be able to get the first order pro bono, or provided with this.
Yeah.
Which would be like 4 pens.
But like ongoing? Would
You're
Ambin-
not sure. It hasn't been set up as like an account. It's like a one-time off the books. This is being paid for.
Cool.
So yeah, so long as your dad is alive, and you haven't killed him yet. Cool. Just moving on.
You see, Rob looks a bit salty at that. All right. I want to do that.
And there is... No. It's probably outside the spectrum of even what you can offer me. Don't worry.
What?
No, please.
It's cutting edge, and I think it is... Well, I know it is not included in this arrangement that has been made on your behalf. I shouldn't have mentioned it, but it is an option if you can convince them to give it to you. Some of the corps out there, they have what he has, the gang thing, but optimized, more potent.
How would we get access to this?
Well, you'd have to find a company that produces it, but I'm just letting you know that I've installed it before. I did not question where it came from. I received payment and it was done. But you seem like a man who has means, and if ever you want your agent, and I do think that's what he is. You are a burgeoning little corp tech assassin, aren't you? Yeah, I'm not stupid. I know what you do over there. I've seen them before.
Pro's just thinking, I'm pulling off assassin. Cool.
Nice.
So, did you want katana in his arm or something? Some people like that. They think it's cool, but
That's
efficacy questionable. I go with gun.
That wouldn't end well. Let's leave it at the optics.
Let's keep it subtle.
Okay. All right, we'll arrange it. You can have that covered on your father's account. Ocular bionics and a discrete onboard computer. That would set some people back their livelihood.
Thanks.
Now, when shall we do the surgery?
Whenever you're ready.
We can book you in tomorrow morning. I have space for this account.
Great. Thank you.
All
right.
As long as it's what you want.
He opens a drawer and pulls out a little ice cream scoop, and he says, "Shall we take I now?"
I'm assuming this is a joke.
Yes, it's a joke for good customers. It's very fun. I don't use melon baller. That's ridiculous.
I use ice cream scoop.
Yes, I use ice cream. No, don't be ridiculous. We have robotic assistants for that. This is very top of the line. We will ensure no injury to you. If your property is destroyed, we will provide a standard compensation package.
Appreciate that.
Let's see.
Hopefully the intern doesn't let the cutting laser too hot and it melt hole in your brain.
I'm just deciding to check out at this point mentally. Yeah, cool. I'm just like, I'm in. Fuck it. Yep.
All right, let's hack shit off you, hey?
Yeah, sure.
It's fun to fuck with the people. Aren't really people. Sorry, it's great.
That's a merch quote. It's fun to fuck with the people that aren't really people.
So anyway, look, Sebastian, it's been a laugh. Your father and I go way back. So look, if you have any real clients, don't think this is a showcase of the usual bedside manner. It's after hours. I'm having fun with your little object.
All in good humor.
No worries. Look, you take care of yourself. I see you tomorrow.
Cool.
See you tomorrow.
Are you sure you don't want me to make further modifications? Final option.
Not at this point.
Okay, we could make his eating more efficient. Oh well.
Okay, cool.
Good night. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the morning. I look forward to seeing your insides.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Walk away.
That's Dr.
I
Rico.
love him. I love that he's named after recording.
Don't tell. Don't tell. So
Call him.
you arrive back in the slums, and Eve is in the place where you hang out. Or are you? Have you been? Okay, cool.
Tidying up.
So,
Oh, no, that's not what happens. Previously, just before you get back at nighttime, on the soup kitchen, it's after hours.
I don't open the door, but I say, who is it? Do I know what that knock means at all?
No,
Did you install a spy onto the...
no, it's all shutters and armored locks and stuff.
I open the door slightly.
You unlock and open the door,
Just slightly.
and you're attacked. No, and you see a woman standing there with her arms crossed in a motorcycle helmet, and she waves at you,
Jane. It's
and
good
she
to
steps
see you.
inside.
I'll let her in.
Cool. And she signs to you, "Are the others here?"
I tell her, no, they are out.
What are they doing?
Pro is undergoing a medical procedure.
You need to make a destiny roll.
I mean, analysis, not procedure.
Signing, would you be able to help us?
Of course. How can I be of help?
We require assistance.
Is it an emergency?
It's life or death. Signed.
Let's go. And I'll go straight with
And
it.
she
Lock up.
she leads you back to Ugly's Motors. A couple hours later, you arrive home.
Yep.
And yeah, Eve's not there.
I'll message or whatever, like, you know, hey, where are you at? Or whatever. But otherwise, I'm keen to go settle, hit the hay in.
At the current time, Eve, you are downstairs in Ugly's Motors in the packaging area. There are two young men on benches. They're moaning, clutching themselves. One has 2 bullet wounds to the torso, another a significant gash. Ugly is currently there pressing down a bleeding wound on the man with the gunshot wounds, and you hear him muttering, "You ain't gonna fucking die on me, boy. I'm gonna keep you here, brother." And you enter into that chaotic scene.
Okay. I'll run straight to whoever I think's in more need.
It seems like the... I'm going to get you to make a medical check to triage it, so your nursing check. Challenge level. I'm going to say it would require skill, just basic. It's not highly difficult, but it is standard. It's a 3.
Yeah,
What did you
got
get?
3.
And just a 1 left on. Okay, 3 successes. You triage that the gunshot wound is the more serious injury. 2 abdominal gunshot wounds versus a significant laceration. And you rush to Ugly's side. And he gestures to a medical pack and he says, "Can you do something?"
I'll assess the situation and I'll just start.
Cool. I'm going to destiny roll for this guy. And I'm going to make the challenge level 2 plus increments of 5.
What does that mean?
It'll make sense.
Okay.
7,
So
12.
4. So going backwards. So high rolls is less. So 16 to 20 would have added 1.
I'm confused.
I'm not. So that's what matters.
Okay.
The challenge level is 4 for your nursing check.
Okay.
Do it again.
So
Oh, I see. Yes.
So for every 5 points
I'm
away
with
from
you.
20, it adds 1. So a 1 would have added 4, and it would have
Gotcha.
been challenge level 6.
Yeah.
It's just probability.
Oh,
5 successes.
Love it.
Over the next half an hour, Eve begins her work, and it's tentative and touch and go, but you manage to stabilize the man with the gunshot wounds. And then with your high levels of skill, move on to the man with the gash. You don't notice your phone go off in the work. Your hands
Yep.
are deep in injuries.
Yep.
Do you communicate with Ugly at all while this is happening?
Where did these men sustain these injuries?
Bomber gang turf, he says.
And how long ago?
Tonight, we just got back.
What happened?
These fucking cyborg guys, again. They're still pissing me off. Well, shit, I've taken 5 for every one they've taken off me, but they're fucking crazy.
I'm gonna have a quick glance over at him. Has he got a couple of wounds in him?
Make a perception check. Poor.
Whoa, that was almost a critical
All right,
critical success.
That was
6.
five successes. 2 3s. 5 successes.
okay.
You detect a few like scuffs, cuts, and bruises, but you also see that he is kind of ignoring. He has a gunshot wound to his shoulder.
That's quite significant.
Doesn't seem it. It's going through his like fleshy meat, but it seems to be closed off already.
Okay.
His bespoke,
Yeah.
but it seems stronger than you usually would expect, even from a bespoke. Not by a huge margin, but he's healed quick. It'll it'll still take days to heal internally, but like it's clotted and sealed, and he's not bleeding out.
I'll keep working, but I'll mention it and say, that shot to your arm, it looks bad.
Don't worry about me, love. Work on the boys. I'm good.
I'll just keep working.
I'm always good.
Okay. I'll just keep working on the guy.
Cool. And go.
Do you need me to roll medicine for this?
No. I'll let you got 5 on the first one. It finishes. Hours pass. Eve doesn't respond to your text. What do you guys do?
Hit the hay.
Just go to bed. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. You go to sleep. About 1 a.m. you finish up, and Ugly leans back in a chair, covered in blood still, and flicks the top off a beer and just starts downing it
I say
downstairs.
like this
The
table.
2 gentlemen they're being filled with a little bit of drugs, like
Yep.
painkillers, and they're laying on benches.
I tell him like recommendations for both of the patients and like
Cool.
what their outcomes are like, recovery time.
And at this stage, those 2 are passed out, and it's he and you alone in the room. And you give recommendations, and do you head to go?
Yeah. Do you require any more assistance?
No, Eve. Thank you.
Anytime. I take off my gloves and stuff and scrubs and leave.
You need a place to crash?
I kind of pause and say, perhaps, it's probably not best to travel the streets. And I kind of look at my phone and go, oh, okay, yep, 1 a.m.
And there's a... Well... You could stay with... Congra doesn't like to be bothered. Zhang probably wouldn't care if you crashed with her.
I would not be an inconvenience.
Nothing's an inconvenience to that one. She's unstoppable.
I would like to have a talk with her.
No worries. And, fuck. It's good to have you one of us. We're much better at the hurting than the healing. But, I mean, don't let me sell Congra short. But he's had a lot on his plate recently. Anyway, go up and recharge or whatever.
I'll tend to leave.
Cool. He lets you go. Head upstairs. You head to where you know Incongruent rests. Zhang rests.
Yeah, I do.
And open the door.
I'll knock first.
Oh, you knock?
Well, sure, I knock. I know that she probably can't hear me, but I'll knock.
You knock. 17. And shortly after, you hear a bit of a rustling noise, and the door is pulled open. And you see a bike helmet festooned upon a girl who is wearing like very comfy like pajamas that are like quite like the opposite of everything you've ever seen Zhang wearing, because she wears like these cool outfits, and she kind of like the door opens and she looks at you and it's like light blue with like little like animals on them like bears or something, and she's wearing like those really baggy pajamas and she's just like...
That's a shrug.
I'll sign to her and say at the same time and say, forgive me, Shane. Ugly said that this would be a good place to sleep for the night. Well, recharge.
Oh yeah, she doesn't know you're sentient, so she shrugs and goes and waves you in, and then shuts the door.
Does she have a bathroom? I imagine so, right? Like, is it like?
Yeah, she's got a bathroom.
I'll go wash any blood that still happens to be on my hands.
You walk through the room. Make a perception check.
Surely she would lower her guard around a drone.
Yeah,
The helmet.
Oh, can I roll that one again?
Yeah.
Four
successes. As you head to the bathroom, you take a look around the room. There is dominating the room is a desk, and surrounding the desk are cans of energy drink and like packets of chips and things like that, just sprawled in piles around the desk. Dominating the desk is a massive 3-monitor PC with like keyboard, everything, but 2090 version. It's got everything, VR, like integration headset, etc. And around the room, there's like assorted weird little books around the floor, which is rather uncommon. They look quite old, that appear to be showing off like comic characters of some description. And her room is generally very messy, like bed sheets sprawled across the floor, motorcycle jacket thrown on the thing, like it's all around the place. And yeah, she sits down on her bed, throws a couple of latches across the thing, and while you're in the bathroom, you hear the distinct sound of a helmet sliding off a head, and then a body flopping into a bed and a sheet being pulled up. Now you're washing your hands.
Okay. Once I'm done, I go back into the room.
Okay, you head back into the room, and you see the lump of Zhang laying in bed. You can see her hair tousled. It is sort of cut to the height that sits just above the motorcycle helmet, sort of cut low and stuff, and messy and sprawled largely in front of her face. So you can't see too much, except that you can definitely see that she's human.
Okay.
You can see her ear poking out. You can see like the side of the skin of her face, and yeah.
Is there like a port for me to charge in, or like?
Yeah.
I look around.
Don't borrow your lightning cable.
You actually see near her computer desk there is a port, and you did pretty well on perception. You can actually see there's a very sturdy looking bench that is unlike anything else. It's quite clean and unused. And as you go over to sit down and charge, you see little trace signs of someone much larger and heavier than you that may often sit here.
All right, no worries. I'll charge for the night.
Cool. And there was a Twitch chat question that was, why did she take off her helmet to put on her PJ? No, she only put the helmet on because she was answering the door.
Yeah.
So the rustling sound was her throwing her helmet back on for her to answer the door.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's always I'm always so like tight-chested after these episodes in a good way.
Poor Rob is literally dying over there. He's just like slowly melted into a pile. Verbal shout out for patrons!
Professor 1718, thank you for your support.
The Dark Fox, thank you.
Rob, do you want to handle this one?
Sagacity
Jen, do you
lost. Yellow hair Triss. Sagacity lost. Hell yeah, Triss. Sagacity
Doable.
lost. Yellow hair Triss.
Yep.
Saga City lost. At narrated Dave.
Time blink.
Jen.
Carowin, thank you.
Kiranon.
I always get Kieran on and I always say it the same way.
And I also get AJ Macy.
What's the last bit?
Pamela.
And thank you to all our other amazing patrons for all the support you do to keep
Thank
this
you
channel going. Chugging along.
Much. This is amazing. Reboot is the highlight of all of our weeks. Well, I'm speaking for all of you there, but I'll say it for myself. So,
Cool. Yes, boss.
Can confirm highlight of my week.
Eve, I believe this game player requires your assistance. Could you perhaps offer him some children's Panadol and maybe a burrito?
Yum.
I feel like maybe the other thing we could do is like in the last section of us, like when we unwind and we have the credits that we name, we could also read the top 3 donations or whatever, like or subs or something.
Yeah, for Twitch.
From Twitch.
We could
just like add it in the video, just like because there could be like a thing, maybe a thing they want to hear a character say.
Okay.
You know how like Epic Voice Guy does it at the end of
we could add that as a donation option.
Yeah, that could be cool.
It could be you get to pick a character at a certain tier of donation. You pick a character, and
a phrase at the end. That'll be fun. Anyways,
sure.
we're just playing with stuff.
Guys.
We started off playing with ideas, and we'll end up playing with them. But at the end of the day, we're all playing games, and it's a good time. Thank you for things, and do the things, and see you till the next things.
Subscribe, like, share, love it.
Bye.
Leave it.
Bye.